Hello and welcome back to another out of spec detailing video here from Clear Detailing in Northern Colorado. Today we are talking Tesla Cybertruck and we are talking about ceramic coating specifically made for the stainless steel finish on the Cybertruck. Now we have two competitors here today that we're going to be testing out both techniques, going through how to actually ceramic coat it, but importantly, how to prep it for the actual coating. First up over here, we have a very small bottle of DIY Details metal ceramic coating. I'm very anxious to be putting this to the test against Protecta Cllear over here. This is a ceramic coating. As you can see, lots and lots of coating on this one and lots to unpack and what all comes with the packaging. So we're going to be putting these two head to head, seeing which goes on easier and which gives us the best finish. That is the most important thing here. So welcome back. Let's jump into it. Now, early this year of 2024, I went down to Austin, Texas to test a bunch of products on the brand new Tesla Cybertruck. At the time, these trucks really weren't out in the public. They were only given to Tesla employees. It was very hard to come by these trucks, but I was able to get my hands on one for a few days while down in Austin. Down there, you guys saw me take a bunch of chemicals. I took glass cleaners, detail sprays, waxes, sealants, paint ceramic coatings. I took everything. I also went and grabbed a bunch of household cleaners to try and figure out how the heck you clean up a Tesla Cybertruck. This was a very fun, a little bit frustrating of a process trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work. And I'll tell you, in all honesty, 99% of the products that everybody says is going to work on the Cybertruck absolutely does not work. So the solution I found coming back from Austin was the Cybertruck doesn't love ceramic coatings. Any sort of protectant, wax, sealant, ceramic coating would turn it this bright orange tinge. It would be splotchy. It looks absolutely terrible. The only thing I found down in Austin, Texas that gave the absolute best finish on the vehicle was to take a compound form of Barkeeper's Friends here, as well as ammoniated Windex. And this was the only solution. So my coming back from there was the Cybertruck likes to be naked, if you will. No sealants, no waxes, no coatings. Now, over the past couple of months, as the trucks have gained popularity, more and more have come out. There's been a few companies that have actually developed coatings or that have had coatings, and they started testing them out. Now, one of those over here is DIY Details metal ceramic coating. Now, I saw a video that they did on their YouTube page and thought they did a fantastic job and was really anxious to try it. So I purchased it by myself. This little bottle here, guys, 90 bucks. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, okay, for a normal ceramic coating, that's around the normal price point. My concern here is this is a tiny bottle. How are you supposed to coat an entire Cybertruck? Do you actually need two of these totaling 180 bucks? Now, importantly with that, they recommended that you purchase this, which is panel prep. Now, I'm not exactly sure of their formulation just as much as they are, but typically with ceramic coatings, whether it's painted surfaces, plastic surfaces, glass, whatever it is, we need to prep it before so that the ceramic coating actually has something to physically bond to. That is one of the most important parts to ceramic coatings. Everybody thinks you take a clean car, you wash it, toss on a coating. That can be farther from the truth. So panel prep here will play an interesting role in what we're doing today. Next over here is Protecta Clear. I've heard a ton of stuff about this. It seems like they've captured this little market of Cybertruck owners, and I haven't seen a ton of people use this. I've seen Bearded Tesla use this. He did a great video testing this out, but I think this is going to be cool to put these two together. Now, I've been a professional detailer for the past 10 years, specializing in paint correction and ceramic coatings. Cybertruck for me has been a full mind shift. I've had to recalibrate how I think about going about cleaning this, figuring out what works and what doesn't work. So it's been very challenging. Now, over here on the Protecta Clear side, you get a lot more. Obviously, these are the two coating bottles that come with it. Holy smokes. First, right off the bat, I cannot believe that. A ton of coating. We need to talk about price though, because this ProtectaClear setup over here is not cheap. It is $250 retail. Now for the amount of coating you're getting, you also get a basically sprayable liquid barkeeper's friends. Lots to talk about and unpack on this in the future. You get a bottle of Windex. You also get a bottle of their Easy Prep, which is a concentrated cleaner and acid neutralizer. In this pack, you also get ERWXL. Man, that really rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Which is a stainless cleaner and rust remover. So lots of different products going on here. You also get four yellow microfiber towels and 4 blue ones. I gotta tell you, these are straight out of Costco. Now, if I'm paying 250 bucks, I just have to be honest, these better be more premium microfibers. Now, I will say for that, these are somewhat of the best towels for it. So I really think it's strange that they send you these and don't have you just go purchase some. And we're gonna talk about other products you need that's not in this kit. You also get some applicators here. These are really interesting applicators. They are like a micro suede. And then importantly, you get this. Now this sheet, I've read over a bunch. This on one side, this is only your preparation stage, and this is your coating application. I have to be honest, from a DIY perspective, we actually filmed this video earlier and I'm redoing it because I got a little frustrated going on over here. My brain was all over the place, so I've had some time to play around with how this goes. Importantly, I have not actually applied the ceramic coating, so we'll of course be doing that today. There are so many steps to follow, and understanding what needs to be done when and why has gotten very confusing to me. So my simple process, again, that I found the best way to get the Cybertruck cleaned and prepped was the compound version of Liquid Barkeeper's Friend and ammoniated Windex. That's all you need. Having all of this stuff over here with the concentrator, the rust remover, I found it's not the greatest. So that being said, we're first going to jump off into the DIY detail metal ceramic coating. Now we're going to be applying this to one panel of the Cybertruck on the passenger side, and then we're going to apply the ProtectaClear right next to it, and I'm anxious to see what they look like compared to each other. I think what we're gonna do on this is leave, of course, some panels uncoated to see what they look like with just the Barkeeper's Friend Windex solution, have coated panels, do some testing over the next couple of months before Kyle inevitably wraps this, and really see, do these coatings actually help with fingerprints? Do they help with bugs? Do they help with cleaning? It'll be an interesting one, so let's jump into it. So earlier today, and this is of course before we're doing the ceramic coatings, what I've done to our out of spec Cybertruck here is I've gone through, I've washed the entire vehicle. This was just on a massive road trip to and from California. We now have 12,500 miles on our Tesla Cybertruck. Truly insane. Now, what I've also done is gone through and done most of the panels, again, with the Barkeeper's Friend Windex solution like I always do. That's in the previous video that went up right before this, so if you're interested in how that looked, definitely check that out. This side looks absolutely unbelievable. Cybertrucks have never seen this patina. Every single one I've seen, I have quite literally seen hundreds and hundreds of them now, just being around the detailing industry, being out in California, being down in Austin, Texas. I've been around these quite a bit. Now what really changes is back here. So in the video, I basically did half of the truck where I put a piece of tape down. This is how our Cybertruck was looking before. So as you can see, very orange, very yellow. Then you move over here to the Barkeeper side. It's so much more even. It looks consistent and it doesn't have this tarnish all over it. Now our Cybertruck has been on many of road trips as of late. So we have in the past 2 months, we've owned this truck for basically 8 weeks at this point now. We have 12,500 miles on the clock. So importantly, on this side, this is how the truck looks naked right now. We've only washed this just a few times and it doesn't look great. So first off here, all of these little spots you see in here are those rust spots. Now this is not rust. The Cybertrucks do not rust. What this is environmental fallout or rail yard dust. Now there's a lot of ways to remove this, and importantly, painted vehicles also suffer from this issue as well. This is not a stainless steel only issue. A lot of the times in the detailing industry, what we'll use to remove these spots, typically you see it mostly on white paint. They look like little rust specks all over it. You'll go in either with a clay bar, you'll either polish it, or you can use a chemical, something like Iron X. Now, Iron X basically attaches to the industrial fallout, which importantly is iron. Same thing as in rust. It's going to neutralize that, and it's actually going to bleed it off the panel. A lot of times you need to give it some agitation, but 9 times out of 10, it comes off, importantly, very, very well. Now, over here on our Cybertruck, I've been doing some testing of some different products. Now, spoiler alert, this situation going on right here was the Protecta Clear cleaners. This over here was also the Protecta Clear cleaners. And this right here is my barkeeper's friend and Windex. We're gonna unpack a lot of that in the Protecta Clear portion of this video. But yet again, keep in mind, this is how it looks. Very tarnished, it looks orange, it looks very uneven. You can see water streaks all down the vehicle, even from the mirrors. And then you go to this section, which I just did, and it looks bright and silver and absolutely beautiful. 0 rust specks in here. It just looks absolutely awesome. So we want to protect this now. My goal is to figure out something that we can do this solution on. We can apply a ceramic coating on it. Again, my hopes are for it to be more resistant to bug staining. Bug stains are a massive issue here on the front. I want it to be helpful with fingerprints on the doors here. Of course, you don't have door handles on the Cybertruck, so it makes it very complicated. And I want it to be easy to clean. We don't want to deal with water spots. And importantly, we don't want to get all of those rust marks. So having a ceramic coating on there is going to help, but this side looks awesome. So our plan is to use this door for the DIY detail metal ceramic coating and use this door for the Protecta Clear. Now I also may, if I decide which one I like to use better, apply it here to the front end because I want to see how it does on bugs. I want to keep a few of these panels naked, if you will, uncoated, so we can compare and contrast. This truck lives outside. It never sees a garage. So this is the perfect example of what not to do with your Tesla Cybertruck. I would love to see these garage, but here at Out of Spec, these cars are constantly on the road. We don't have time for them to sit inside all the time. So let's jump over here and get coating the panels. So we're first starting off with the DIY detail panel prep. Now, of course, before this, you have to wash the truck. Please be aware of that. Now, importantly, in DIY Details video, I didn't see them do much of anything a barkeeper's friend. Now, all of that rail yard dust, I did see them clay it. I also saw them use some iron remover on it. I think all that's great, but the tarnish on here, you really don't want to just seal all of that with the ceramic coating. So my preference here would be to wash the vehicle with the pH neutral soap, do the barkeeper's friend, do the Windex, and then we're on to the next step. So we're step 4 on this, if you will. Now, panel prep on here. We're gonna spray this down. What we're looking for, and what's really interesting while I was watching DIY Details video, is they kept wiping this and it constantly was turning this black. So it was removing a little bit of tarnish. We can definitely try it on the other side to see what it does. But my preference, again, would be do the barkeepers, do the Windex. I really think you're gonna get the best results with it, and it's gonna look the most even and the most cohesive. So this is a simple step with all ceramic coatings. You have to have a panel prep on it. So make sure you're diligent with this. I typically like to go around it twice just to make sure nothing's on here. Of course, we want to make sure all oils, waxes, sealants, polish, whatever it may be, is completely off of here. But I think most important, again, just getting this thing absolutely clean. So I'm going to quickly flip over. Let's just quickly hammer this out. See how quickly this stuff evaporates, pretty crazy. But my rag here is completely clean. Now, all I've done to this before is Windex. So we're getting a lot of that tarnish off. There's nothing left on here. Can you hear? Very, very sticky on there. So I'm going to grab our ceramic coating bottle. Now, I had a bit of confusion with this, and with most ceramic coatings, it's very hard to tell every single person whether you're in 100% humidity and 100-degree weather, or if it's freezing cold and no humidity, how long a ceramic coating needs to be applied. Now, when I have tested this before earlier today when we shot the other video, I was under the impression, as I said in the video, leave this on there until it rainbows. Now, I will tell you, I don't know if I applied too much of it, but I left it for 40 minutes on here and it never once rainbowed for me. So I don't really know exactly why that was the case. It seemed to me when they were doing this video, they did the entire side of the truck at once. When they went to remove it, it seemed to be a lot better. I, after that, tested a panel with their recommendations of saying, at the bare minimum, wait 5 minutes before wiping it. So flashing is very important in the ceramic coating world. Flashing is from the time you finish applying the coating to the time where you actually remove it with a towel. Now, all coatings are very different. So this one seems to have a little bit longer working time, which I do think is a little bit more DIY friendly, but you gotta be careful with it. So when I wiped this off before, it was very tacky. When I did another panel and left it on there for 5 minutes, it came off beautiful. So we'll see how this goes here. We'll definitely put this on a timer after I apply it. Now, interestingly, everybody has their own way to apply a ceramic coating. I am a guy who does a crosshatch motion. Now, what I saw the DIY detail guys do is one of these situations. Now, personally, I like to do it a little bit different. Now, I do understand this is their product and I may get a little criticism for that, but I'm going to apply a coating like I know how to for the past 10 years. Now, to me, that doesn't feel too thick. That is about the normal amount that I would apply a traditional ceramic coating. Now, ProtectaClear is gonna be very different to this, and we'll talk about that once we get to it. But this to me feels very DIY friendly, feels very easy. It also feels like it should be professional enough that a professional installer like myself can easily do this to clients and customers' Cybertrucks. Now, I'm anxious to see, I'm trying to not use a ton here because we have a small bottle. This is a 1 ounce bottle, and you're trying to do an entire Cybertruck. That does seem like a little bit of a big ask if you ask me. I'm gonna try and apply this a little bit on the thin side instead of going crazy thick on it. We'll just kind of have to play with this. Again, it's very hard to grab a coating and for me to go, this is exactly how you do it. And manufacturers very much struggle with that as well. This to me is already looking very nice. Now the color is changing a little bit, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing, but it's definitely not as bright silver. So I'll be anxious to see what it really looks like applying it like this when we come back here. So just gonna cross hatch this, make sure we're all good. Went to the edges, no overlap. Again, very similar to how I would apply a traditional paint coating. Yes, I understand this could be a little different, but this seems very reasonable to me. So we're gonna wait our dedicated 5 minutes starting right now and see what this looks like after that. So here is our panel right now, and it is ever so slightly starting to rainbow. Honestly, not as much as I really expected it to. So again, I did apply this a little bit thinner. You can actually see up here is a little thicker. Very hard to get this coating super even, but I can tell on this, it looks substantially better. So I waited exactly 6 minutes. So I think this is a comfortable, reasonable place. It's unbelievably hard to pick it up on camera. I'm not sure if you guys can totally see this. You can slightly start to see a little orange and blue and white and orange. Yeah, so this is definitely starting to rainbow. This coating is ready to come off this door. So let me set you guys up on the tripod. Let's get this wiped down. So I've got 2 microfibers here ready to go, and I'm just going to start working. I actually like to remove my coatings in a circular motion, but apply them in more of a straight line fashion. I'm weird, I'm a detailer, I know. Actually, very, very impressed with this. This feels extremely smooth. That area looks unbelievably even. So big improvement there. Wow, okay. So I think the first time I tried this, which I'm glad I'm reshooting this video, I left the coating on way too long, and I think I applied it way too thick. That's part of the tricky thing. It's very hard to understand how these coatings work when you first test them. So I'm kind of one of those guys who I just test it really quick. I do a large panel. I'm not one of those to like do an inconspicuous area. I just get after it. I go for it. Now I'm feeling this a little bit stickier over here. So maybe it was even a little too long on this side. I don't know, definitely different. I'm really liking the color though. Now I am going to tell you, I ever so slightly see a little bit more orange tinge to this. Now I'm not gonna say that that's a bad thing. I do think that this looks very, very nice. It's very even, very consistent, and it looks like a very uniform panel here. So I'm impressed with that. Now I'm gonna wipe this down with my other towel here. So I just wanna pick up any high spots. That's a big thing with coatings as well, making sure you get everything off. Now I will tell you this is a little trickier to do one panel at a time, and as I can see, I'm getting a little bit of bleed over here, if you will, on actually wiping it off. I'm not able to remove this here, so I would say this kind of needs to get done all at once. Of course, we're only coating certain panels. Potentially, if I really enjoy this coating, it's going to be the coating that we're gonna use on the out-of-spec Cybertruck for a few months here, but wow, very impressed. I really, really like this coating. So let me bring you guys in a little bit closer here now that I've got it all wiped down and see how it looks. On camera, I can already tell you guys, this really doesn't look different on camera. In person, it does. Now, it's a little hard to see here, but you can see how this is slightly tinged yellow and this is more bluey silver. Now, do I prefer this? Yes, I kind of wish the coating didn't change it, but I gotta say, out of every single ceramic coating I've tried for Cybertruck, this looks amazing. Very impressed with this. The whole panel, even down the door, extremely even. Now these again are some areas you can see it slightly bleed over. God, you guys can barely even see that on camera. I don't know. In person, this is very apparent to me. So again, if you're picking out DIY detail, you're doing the entire truck. So you're not gonna run into this issue. This is just strictly a testing thing. So if you guys are curious about that, but I gotta say, man, this looks awesome. So I'm really, really thrilled with that. And I think this is a big contender for a ceramic coating I'm actually gonna recommend for the Tesla Cybertruck. So next up here, let's go to this panel and get through this absolute chaos of the preparation and ceramic coating sheet of Protecta Clear. We've come over to the driver's side panel now because this is where in the video that I shot and actually deleted and am reshooting as we're speaking right now is where I tested all of the Protecta Clear prep tools. Now, let's come over here and talk about this. So again, everything here comes with it. So you get the sprayable barkeeper's friend, you get Windex, 2 large coatings here, you get the Easy Prep, the ERWXL stainless cleaner rust removal, you get 8 towels, again, the Costco towels. These are the towels to use for Cybertruck. I just think 250 bucks, like these need to be more premium. I haven't even tested other towels on this because it's just like, these are cheap and easy to use, but nonetheless, you also have the applicators. Now we move to this. There's a lot to unpack here. So this was actually sent to me. Everbrite reached out to us and said, hey, we've seen you got a Cybertruck with the out of spec team. Would you like to test our coating? I said, absolutely yes. Now it's been way too long for me to actually make this video. I do apologize for that, but we're finally getting around to it here. So first off, lots to unpack here. Let's start with preparation. So I'm gonna run you through this because I think it's important. Now, I watched Bearded Tesla's video on doing the Everbrite coatings. He basically skipped most of the preparation, and we're gonna talk about that. So, wash Cybertruck with Easy Prep Cleaner. So that is this cleaner that sits here. In a 1 ounce per gallon ratio with water. Suggested 4 ounces for the step and say 4 ounces for step 2 if necessary. All dirt, other coatings, silicone, cleaners, waxes, oxide must be removed. So they're asking you to do this to wash your truck for the first. I don't think this is necessarily absolutely essential. I actually tested it over here on this area and it didn't seem to do much of honestly anything, if I'm completely honest. Now again, we've tested some other stuff on here. So I don't think this is a huge ordeal other than using you know, something like your normal car wash shampoo. Now, I think this is great if you have a brand new truck. Like you literally drive it from the dealership straight home, boom, do this. I think that's totally cool. So next, number 2, remove corrosion if necessary. So this is the ERWXL stainless steel remover, can be used to remove surface rust. Note, this cleaner contains acid. Move to step 3. Steps 2 and 3 can be skipped if no corrosion is present. So if you don't have any corrosion on your truck, which of course we do, honestly guys, all of them that I've seen, even brand new, have corrosion. So I think you're gonna need this step. So this is where I get confused. So this is a no scrubbing and non-abrasive formula. So if I flip this over to the back here, it removes rust and tea staining, brightens and cleans stainless, quick and effective, easy to use. It foams so it clings to surfaces. It leaves surfaces clean, removes fingerprints and grime, easily to apply by brush or sponge, okay? So cleaning directions. So this is just for cleaning, which I'm confused on this. Wipe on stainless steel, remove with clean wet cloth. So I actually did that right here. So I basically applied a little to a cloth because this is not a spray bottle. It's also very tiny of a bottle, I would say, to do a whole Cybertruck. And as you can see here, it just kind of smeared it. It also didn't remove any rust spots here whatsoever. Okay, so then I go down here and I read, okay, rust removal directions. Apply neat or diluted with a brush. What brush? So are they asking me to use an aggressive brush? Am I supposed to use a soft lug nut brush? I went on the approach of using a soft brush. Agitate and allow to dwell for 15 to 20 minutes. Agitate again with brush and rinse with plain low pressure water. Brush to aid rinsing if necessary. Rinse thoroughly. Always use clean equipment. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, so I did that. I came over here. I applied it to a lug nut brush. I agitated it on here, left it for 20 minutes, and this was the result here. And I gotta say, it looks absolutely terrible. It's inconsistent. You can see still all the rust marks in there. It just doesn't look right to me. Okay, so that is step 2. Next we go to step 3. Use the other Easy Prep Cleaner here in a 4:1 solution of water. So that means we have 1 part solution, 4 parts water, if I'm correct there. In a 1:4 solution with water. Yep, okay. So wash the metal with a microfiber saturated with neutralizing solution. So where are you supposed to put this? I would say in a bottle, you're supposed to spray it on here. That's meant to neutralize this. So I understand we just used an acid on there. Okay, understand that. So I've done that. I actually did that to both of these panels here. Now, recommended procedure to remove fingerprints. So we haven't removed fingerprints yet up here. Spray barkeeper's friend more on a microfiber used to clean off the metal. So this is this one. So I guess this is the more version. I didn't even know that. I didn't even read that. This cleaner contains acid. Okay, so we've already done a neutralizer. Now we're adding more acid. Once the metal is completely clean, the surface needs to be neutralized. Windex will neutralize acids in the barkeeper's friend, leave a streak-free finish. Spray Windex on a clean microfiber cloth until dry. Surface should be free of residue and even in color. Okay, so let's try this out. So I'm going to grab my barkeeper's friend more over here, and what I want to do is spray this on one of their yellow towels here. Okay, I think that should be enough. So let's see what this does, because at this point, and I've already tested this right here, by the way, I haven't removed any rust stains, I haven't removed any tarnish, and there's nothing coming off the towel. Again, all I've done in this particular section that I'm testing this on right now is I have washed the truck. Now, of course, it leaves it very streaky like that, so we're gonna come back over here, we're gonna grab a fresh towel and our Windex. So I'm gonna spray this down. Now, what's funny is I've seen a ton of people using this barkeeper's friend versus the compound liquid form that I've used before. So that did absolutely nothing. Does this look any different than that? No, it does not. So this is what I'm getting at. So now I have done all the steps. Essentially, it looks identical to this, and I'm supposed to coat that now. What? Like, this just does not make any sense to me. Okay, so after that, solvent wipe metal with denatured alcohol. So we should have removed everything. This is to be used before the coating. This step needs to be done immediately before coating. Do not dilute or rinse with solvent. So this is one that you actually have to purchase at a hardware store or Amazon. They cannot ship it in this kit. Okay, I do understand that. Now, what I would recommend using instead of this is our panel prep that we got from DIY Detail. Now, instead of doing all of this stuff, let me show you what I would do. So I'm going to simply come over here. I'm going to apply our barkeepers. And this is typically not how I do it. I just want to show you a little test spot. So I'm going to do, okay, we did the other barkeeper's Windex there. Look at all the rust spots go away immediately. Look at this big guy right here. Big difference. So what I'm getting at here, guys, is they're adding a bunch of extra fluff and steps and time. So think about that. This on here, to get those rust spots, you're waiting 15 to 20 minutes. You're using a brush on it. Like, are you expected to have a paint roller brush and go all the way around this truck? I don't get it. So let me quickly come back over here. Going to grab my Windex yet again, spray it on there. And that's how it should look. So this, again, is the other barkeeper's friend and Windex, and this is the compound form. Big difference. Which one would you rather coat? This one, of course, because this is actually clean. This is not even sort of clean. So all of these steps are pretty much irrelevant to me because you can just use that. This is literally $2.82 at Walmart. You can go pick that up, get a bunch of rags from Costco. You're into this for $16, let's say. It is a way better solution. Of course you need some Windex. Okay, so let's call it 20 bucks. So all of that nonsense, all of that time, literally all these steps, that is as easy as you need to make it. So you need to wash it, do the barkeeper's friend, do the Windex. So now we're ready to actually ceramic coat. So we're gonna move to the other side and coat the other door, but I just wanted to give you a little demonstration on what was going on over here and my findings with the Protecta Clear kit. Skip all of that. Absolutely skip it. Barkeeper's friend, Windex, of course the compound side, and we're on page 2 for coating. So again, step 6 now before preparation would be to do our solvent wipe on here. So wipe denatured alcohol. I'm not using denatured alcohol here. We're gonna use our panel prep. We're professional detailers here. We don't need to be using that type of stuff. So I'm going to spray this on here. Of course, the DIY detail coating is still curing over there. And I gotta say, it looks absolutely awesome. It's actually just looking perfect, if I'm totally honest. I'm very impressed with the product that they've come up with there. Now, trust me when I say, when we get into coating this, I've got a lot of questions on this. So let me get this wiped down here. Again, doing the same thing as the door kicks in now. So as I jump over here, application of coating. Apply the coating to a completely dry surface. Warming the metal with a heat gun will also help ensure metal is dry. Okay, great. So they also do give you gloves with this. I would wear gloves for this entire thing. Sometimes I'm a little bad and don't do that here at the shop, but when coatings are out, I'm always using gloves. So very much need to do that. Step number 1, pour the coating into a clean, dry metal or glass pan. What? Do not use plastic as a solvent can melt plastic. So they are telling me with this thing that I need to pour it into a pan. Really? Okay, so I actually had a cookie sheet over here at the shop. I did not expect to be using this. That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard for a ceramic coating. Okay. For application, use a lint-free coating applicator. Great, they've got those for us. Submerge applicator completely into the coating. Gently squeeze out the excess. Applicator should be saturated but not dripping. This is important as dry areas in the applicator can cause streaks. So it sounds to me like this is a quite heavy coating on there. So it's going to be a lot of material going on here, which is I think why they give you 2 of these. It still sounds crazy to me. Like this is everything that I've learned in my 10+ years of detailing ceramic coating vehicles. This is like out the door, all the rules are gone. This is gonna be a fascinating one. Okay, apply the coating to the surface, letting the applicator glide across the surface in horizontal stripes. Do not press hard or apply in circular motion. Okay, fair enough. Applicator should glide smoothly. When it starts showing resistance, dip the applicator again. If you get drips, are we painting this? What is going on? Simply smooth them out before the coating starts to dry. Okay, so observe the coating while applying. If the coating separates or does not look completely smooth, stop and re-clean the surface. Other substances such as oils, silicones, etc. present on the surface. Okay, so then you just have to completely stop. So I think we're past that. We should be totally good on here. Letting the coating dry completely, it will self-level as it dries. If you see an area you missed, let it dry and then coat over the missed area. ProtectaClear is self-annealing, meaning the second coat will become a part of the first coat. Wait till the previous coat is completely dried to the touch. Applicators can be wrapped in aluminum foil between coats to prevent drying. Somebody who has never detailed cars definitely designed this product. Okay, that's totally fine. I understand it's metal. Do not wrap your coating applicators. Grab a freaking new one. Like, you spent $250 on this kit. This is a $120,000 rig. You can afford a $2 applicator. This is just no bueno to me. So, cure time. Under normal circumstances with good ventilation, the coating will be fully cured after 4 to 5 days. Now that is very reasonable. I would say typical ceramic coatings, what we look for, 24 hours is our initial cure time where you don't want to get them wet, you don't want to leave the thing outside. And then typically about 7 days, your coating's fully cured. So I would say that's right on par with that. This is okay. The coating will be delicate until it's fully cured. You can shorten the time by letting the Cybertruck sit in the sun after it's dry to the touch. Coating must be cured before prolonged contact. Okay, so just getting on here. Now, interesting stuff I think we need to know before we actually apply this. While 2 coats is beneficial, sometimes applying second coat will mar levelness of first coat. A single good coat wiped on may be preferred and will be sufficient to protect the metal. Okay, so I think we're now ready to apply. I'm freaking terrified to use this stuff. This is one of the weirdest things. I didn't ever think I'd be pouring a ceramic coating into a cookie sheet in any time in my detailing career, but you know what? The Cybertruck's here and here we are. So let's crack this open. I'm curious to see what this stuff smells like. So I guess I just, oh my Lanta, this feels so wrong. Okay, we're gonna start there. I don't even know how much we're gonna be using here. Oh boy, what did I get myself into here, guys? This is, I'm showing you real time. I have never used this coating. I don't know anything what to expect. Okay, so that's dripping. So now I want to squeeze it out. What in the heck is going on here? Well, let's see what kind of trouble we can get into here. Okay, so feels reasonably smooth. And then kind of tacky. This is the most bizarre thing I will ever do in my entire detailing career. Taking a ceramic coating out of a cookie sheet that is dripping with an applicator on a $120,000 Cybertruck. Okay. Yeah, this is weird. I cannot even tell you if I'm putting enough on, if it's too little. This stuff feels absolutely weird. Now, one of the things that I listened to Bearded Tesla talk about when he applied his is he didn't have an area like my shop here, so he was working basically out of a garage and the truck was mostly outside. And I think that's going to be 99% of you if you're if you're using this as a kind of DIY friendly kit. I can't tell if I'm putting this on completely right or incredibly wrong. This is just hilarious. I hope you guys are enjoying this because I am freaking out in my head right now as I literally have stuff dripping off the Cybertruck here. It's unbelievably inconsistent. It gets slick and then heavy and then I don't even know what's going on. So I'm doing what I can here. Again, I just want to make sure you guys know. It's the first time ever using this. I'm hoping I'm getting this level. Now, there is care instructions on this if you do mess it up, so I do think that's cool. Okay, so we've got rainbowing going up there. So let's refer back to this. Rainbowing, okay. So I read through the instructions. I don't see a single thing about it having rainbowing, so I'm assuming I didn't get enough on here, and it's unbelievably tacky. This is an absolute nightmare. I don't like this at all. And I don't feel like I'm using enough, but then I feel like I'm using too little. This is just like, how do you expect normal people who have never coated a car, maybe it's actually better if you've never coated a car, to do this? Because this is just the weirdest thing ever. Like I just have drips everywhere. It's getting sticky. Wow. I don't even know if I'm using like obscene amounts of this and it's rainbowing all over the place. It looks incredibly uneven, but then it's high spots. Like this is an absolute disaster. I don't even know what to say about this product, honestly, guys. I mean, to me, this is just the weirdest thing ever. It says nothing about rainbows, and I have spots that are rainbowing. I would assume it's curing. Now, this is a ceramic coating that you do not wipe off. This is self-leveling. It is what it is. Now, there are instructions for, as I'm literally having more drips up here, like, holy smokes. Okay, all I can tell you right now, please don't do this. Just use the DIY detail. It's cheaper, it worked easier. This is an absolute disaster. I've got to get all of this off because it looks absolutely terrible. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna let it self-heal, but it's impossible to get even. And I don't know how they expect folks to get this even. It is all over the place on a flat panel. Unreal. Absolutely unreal. I guess in these areas over here, I don't know if you guys can see these rainbows. Oh boy, what a day at the office, folks. What a day at the office. I feel like I'm just making this worse, and I probably am, but I just don't think those rainbows are what it should look like. And now this is just getting sticky and an absolute mess. So let me get my thoughts together, and I'm gonna give you my final opinions on whatever the heck is going on here. For the past 10 years as a professional detailer, I've done some pretty crazy things in my career. This is the craziest, and that is just using this product. I don't know what is going on here. Now, I am genuinely almost embarrassed to be showing this on YouTube right now with how obscenely bad this went. And I genuinely think this might be a case of a professional detailer that knows ceramic coatings like the back of their hand, tries to apply this stuff on here and miserably fails. And that may absolutely be the case. I personally don't understand how you are supposed to get this level. Now, the issue starts just first off, dumping a ceramic coating into something. What are we doing? This is insane to me. So let me show you over here. So you have your applicator, okay? I'm gonna dunk this in here. It is now dripping. So apparently that's too much, and I'm supposed to squeeze this out. And it's still dripping, and it's still dripping. Why are we dunking this, for one? Okay, number two, this thing has lint all over it. Now, Bearded Tesla did a video on this stuff and had to redo multiple panels because there's lint all over it. Well, this up here, I don't know if you can see all these dots in here, all of this stuff is lint. So, I am dumbfounded how this even made it onto market and how people are gonna be using this. I did my very best to make sure I'm not applying it too heavy or too light. I can't tell what I'm doing. I thought I was applying this heavy. This area is rainbowed and mostly dry here, which doesn't make sense. This area has drips all over it. I mean, when I come back in here now to pick this up, this is still just moving all over the place. It's tacky. I don't even know what to say. I looked through this entire thing. I don't see a single thing about rainbowing on here. Now again, this may be the case of professional detailer. This is a weird new product, but I cannot recommend this at all. If you're gonna use a ceramic coating on your Tesla Cybertruck as of today in May of 2024, DIY detail metal ceramic coating. This is a no fuss, no mess, easy to do process that I think genuinely anybody can pick up. Professional detailer to barely have washed a car before and figure this out. If you follow the steps. The steps on here, I mean, the beginning of this, of using an acid or using a neutralizer and then an acid and then a neutralizer and then an acid and then another acid and Windex and all this crap. I don't understand this product, and I'm sorry. This is way out of my understanding of reasonability. This looks amazing over here. So if you watch this video and have gotten this far and got a good chuckle out of it like I did, please get yourself some DIY detail, metal ceramic coating, call it a day, save yourself some money, save yourself a headache, and just go for that. So I now get to run to, I guess, a local hardware store here to figure out how to get this monstrosity off of our $120,000 Cybertruck. What an evening here at the shop. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of comments on this video. Was I a little harsh on this product? Yes, but this is a disaster. Nobody should be using this. I'm sorry. Go for the DIY detail. Thanks so much for watching another out of spec detailing video. We'll see you in the next one soon. Bye-bye.